We trying to do some things, man. We trying to do a little something.
One thing I ain't is mad.
Nah, man.
Listen,
I went to your facility and I got some ideas because I want what you got, man. You got a nice facility, man.
Appreciate that.
Zach, you been in a massage chair?
I've been in a massage chair, but I've never been to his facility. When did you go?
I went on Wednesday.
Okay.
You haven't been in his massage chair?
No.
Oh no. I try to tell people there's a huge difference
that was an experience.
because I mean this chair was like $12,000-$13,000.
Oh shit.
So it'll lean you back, scan your whole body, give you a full body massage mixed with the immersiveness of what you pick.
I picked
watching.
space.
Space.
Nature was first, and then
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want something a little more because the nature felt like I was walking again. I was like, I'm trying to just chill. I
Yeah.
picked space,
Wait,
like
a screen over?
Yeah,
above
it's
your
a screen in front of you. You can pick ocean, you can pick space, you can pick sound bath, you can pick whatever you want to just try and create that full experience for somebody to take to relax.
Okay.
you gotta go, Zach.
I have to check that out.
What were the scenery options again? There was nature, space.
You got nature, space, sound bath, ocean, thunderstorms, walk in nature.
Which one you picking?
Probably space.
I was about to say.
I like space. Space is interesting.
Oh man, I was watching that thing. I was in the chair, and it was funny because like when they got on my neck, I was like, oh man, I didn't realize how sore I was.
Oh, I could use it. I spent all day just like sitting, riding the semi, just kind of bouncing all day. So it's kind of sore sometimes.
Yeah. You'll do well with it. For sure.
Man.
I always ask people, it was like, how deep do you want the massage?
All the way.
Because I didn't turn yours up to the max.
Listen, whatever you had it on, when I was at the neck, I thought it was a dude. Like, I was like, man, it got me. But I was like, okay, I was right. But right in the settings, like, the experience for me, it was different from going to one at the mall versus going to yours. Obviously, you said the investment. It was I could definitely feel it. I mean, my legs were secure, my arms were secure.
Massage your feet, everything.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted you to come check it out before even doing this podcast, because I didn't want, it's hard to describe.
Right.
That's why I was like, please come to the chair before I do the podcast, because if I get to talking about it, people are naturally going to assume it's like a regular massage chair.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not. But it takes another party to explain it as well for the audience to understand that it's not the same.
Zach would have fell asleep.
I fall asleep anywhere anyways.
It was so relaxing, man. What made you want to bring something like that to the city of Massillon?
Well, initially I had a plan. When I was in Los Angeles, I was homeless out there and I was trying to rebuild myself, trying to understand who I was as a person. And as I was rebuilding myself, it was like eating healthy, working out, just all the ingestible things, what I'm putting in my ears, what I'm putting in my mind, what I'm putting in my eyes, what I'm putting, in my mouth, just absolutely everything. And the first thought was, how can I take everything I've learned from speaking at schools, speaking at 300 plus schools, take all these different things and put it into a format that my audience or my family can digest.
Right.
So the first thing was Greatness Cafe. So Greatness Cafe was about eating healthy and having someone to talk to about your problems. So the big stigma in mental health is I don't want to talk to someone about what I'm dealing with because I don't want someone to think that I'm crazy or whatever it is. So Greatness Cafe was about setting up smoothies, sandwiches, etc. So if you was to come in to get a smoothie or really a session, people won't know why you're there.
Right.
So that was the first point. And the second, that was a 3-year venture, was to transition into a deeper, more profound way to help people on an individualistic level. So that was the mental health and wellness. But what I kept thinking about is people, it takes a setting to relax properly to even open up. Mm-hmm. So it takes, as we hear, you do your ice breaking to get to a point where I'm a level of comfort, so you can start asking me the real questions.
Exactly.
It's the same thing in mental health. Like if you walk into a setting, we had to do color theory. So that's why it feels a certain way when you walk in there. What type of materials are you using? When you lay down, put the weighted blanket on you. It's dark. It got the moon. It got, like, everything was for someone to be able to relax as much as possible. And then my skill set is I've been talking and mentoring since I've been 13. So I know what questions to ask certain type of people to get them to open up, to get them the answers that they need. Because some people like it straightforward and don't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
Some people need the sugar in order for them to understand things they need to do to change.
I know when I went to the facility, like we had a conversation beforehand, and that made my experience more uncomfortable because, as I said, we've known each other for years, but never had a direct conversation or met with one another. So when I went to the facility, we broke the ice, and I was able to sit in that chair. I was like, man, you know what? All right, cool. Because me, I like to read the room. I know the type of conversations I could have with a person when I look at them. Talking with you, I was like, all right, that's one of the homies. We could talk about something like that. So even on a deeper level, I felt safe to open up to somebody just about things. We had the conversation we had. Why do you personally think it's a stigma amongst me and you, brothers? You know what I'm saying? That mental health is like a weak thing to open up about, because you and I could have talked for hours there.
Well, a lot of things, this is the most difficult thing to tell society is men don't really have outlets. You know, we get taught from a young age to shut up, suck it up, don't cry, whatever. And then a lot of times when we even open up to our women, they flip it and make it about themselves.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
So it makes you stop doing that too. So what happens is we start internalizing and letting our outlets go through other things, sports, basketball, working out, you know, which is okay, but still you need someone to help you wrestle those things that you going to sleep with.
Yeah.
That we know those tears is hitting the pillow. Like, I know that. I've been through it as well. I know it's those moments that men go through where we be like, man, what would life be like if I wasn't here? And we process it so much that we almost crying about it. Like, I can't believe, you know, you think about all those things, and I know it's there and it's prevalent. So I just wanted to, well, let me answer your question first. The reason why we don't seek that type of help is we never got taught how to.
Yeah.
And seeking help to an ego makes you feel weak. Although we will seek help in every aspect of life. We need coaching for basketball. Yep. We need coaching for track. We need coaching for whatever. As soon as you join a job, you got somebody training you, but we get it for everything but mental. You know, if I talk to you about the anxiety you're going through, you're going to say, I got it. I'll take care of it myself. I'm like, wait a minute. Just like you specialize in something, I specialize in something as well, and I can help you get to that finish line much, much faster than you are now, because you are where you are based on the things you've been doing. So it's clear you don't know how to get out of it, or else you wouldn't be there in the first place. So let me help you. And then it's like, nah, you know, so I think it's kind of like ingrained in our society as a whole to you are weak if you are being vulnerable about whatever it is that you're going through. And then added fuel to it is our surroundings of women and just all those things.
Because I definitely love the awareness now with the internet, because growing up, there were times when I was a kid and I would just be sad because my father passed. And then having somebody be like, oh, you'll be all right. It kind of was just like, well, I didn't solve the issue. And then now, you know, once I got like in my late 20s, and even now, like, I love that now we don't yell at the kids. We let them say how they feel, because sometimes that's all a person really wants is like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Let's talk about it. But us being men, suck that shit up. You'll be all right. But now I love that we're seeing like, okay, what could happen if a man don't open up? Let's be there for each other. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times people don't realize that you train people how to treat you. So if I come to you and I'm like, man, this is what I'm going through, bro, you know, and you're like, man, suck that up, man. Don't worry about that. You just cut off me coming to you about that ever again. It will never happen again. Then there's times I might be like, yo, this is what my album sound like. But then you'll respond, man, that's fire. Now I'm coming to you because you're willing to give me constructive criticism about this thing. But one of the things that really matter the most to me, you shutting me down.
Right.
So it's like, it's a weird dynamic that we have, because in order for you to open up about what I'm going through emotionally, you have to be vulnerable too.
I tell them all the time, Zach, Chase, Dakota, and like, we don't always got a network just for podcast stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've all gone through things individually. Like, even when people talk to me, I'm like, yo, you don't got to come at me just because it's music. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Jéan P. I want to know you as a person first. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, man, you know, We don't always got to be in podcast mode or rap mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a gentleman I met today. You know, it's like I want to know who he is as a person first before we talk anything music. I feel like that's necessary. How you feeling? What's up with you? You know, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that first. And I feel like that'll build a stronger relationship, because sometimes we have to talk. We have to share these things with people, especially as men, man, because we just always trying to just.
And I don't think people realize how good it feels to talk about stuff too. Like, when you have all that weight on your shoulders, you can finally just let it out. You can physically feel the weight come off your shoulders.
For real.
Like, you
definitely.
really can. So,
For real, man. Like, even with the whole crying thing, like, I don't know why as a society we've always looked at crying as weak, but sometimes it takes a strong person to do that.
Yeah, you have to be very vulnerable to put yourself in that space.
Yeah.
It's so many, how can I say, perspectives. It's so relative to everybody's circumstance, because crying to certain environments does reflect weakness.
Yeah.
And in certain environments, if you are perceived weak, you become prey. So when if you look at any playground, the kid that always got the black eye is the one that don't want to fight back.
Yep.
So if you be vulnerable and weak and cry, you become the person we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So you get trained like that at an early age to a point that it affects you in your adulthood. Like, you think about it like this. It may take you 26 years to learn something. So I'm tough. Now you become 27, 28, 29, and you start understanding your vulnerability. In actuality, you 3 years old.
Yeah.
You know, women may have started their vulnerability standpoint at 12. They're already like adults in this field of emotions, and men, we 3 years old.
Man,
You know?
So it's like we think so. Like, I'm 35, so how old would I really be?
You might be 7.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That gap, man. I love this, man. You said it yourself. Like, this is gonna be a great conversation. Like, even with mental health, we've always want to talk about different things on our podcast. But the beauty of it is we get to know who you are as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you've done a lot of things, man. And I'm glad that you're on this show to be able to talk about the things you got going on. I know earlier you walked in a little sore.
Oh, I'm sore. There ain't no little.
You was getting in yesterday?
Yesterday was a yoga / CrossFit / boxing workout.
See, he did that to himself.
So yeah. Oh, it's self-inflicted, so I'm not complaining. Before that, it was a 5K, so it's self-inflicted. I'm not complaining.
So you're a very athletic guy.
I like to believe it. You know?
Yeah, man. You came in like you was getting it in, man.
Yeah.
Like, glad that's what's up, man. So real quick before we go on this break, how can they reach out to you, man? How can they get in touch with you?
The best way to get in contact is goingtogrow.com. That's where it has everything from booking a massage to a one-on-one session with me. Or they can follow me on Instagram at cyrusausar.com. Well, Instagram, Cyrus Ausar, but also at cyrusausar.com, which will direct you to my personal page as well. But yeah, that's the best way, Instagram or my website, emails.
Okay. Michael Zach.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at zworthy68 or Facebook Zachworthy.
All right, everything Jéan P the MC. Follow the podcast, SWYM Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jéan P the MC. Jeremy, he's on vacation. Where did he go, Florida?
Myrtle Beach, I believe.
Yeah, Jeremy kicking it. So
Yeah,
shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to,
Somewhere where a beach is.
right, somewhere. Yeah, it ain't here because
Where it's not raining.
right. It's
today.
June 1st today, and I had to almost put a jacket on when I was
60
walking the
degrees.
dog, man. Crazy. Chase keep that jacket on all year round. So
Yeah, that's true.
you gonna stick around with us, man?
Definitely.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Jéan P the MC, Cyrus Ausar. Say what you mean. Peace.
Say what you mean. Mean Jéan P.
Episode 178 of the Say What You Mean podcast. Jéan P the MC, Cyrus Ausar in the house. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, feeling great.
That was a good gems you was dropping. We usually have our peace positive point at the end, but it was just a whole bunch of. You was letting the bars off early on the first.
Yeah,
half.
I mean, look, people's time is valuable.
100%.
And I understand how valuable it is. So I'll try and give them everything up front as much as I possibly can. I don't want to put no sugar on it.
No, we'd love to have the guests that engage because it's called Say What You Mean. So, it's like you've been saying what you mean. So
Then it makes our job easy too.
way easy. Way easy. Because sometimes we have guests and they're just like, we're like, nah.
Yeah.
But that's why we break the ice too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Laughs because we silly. We like to do our thing and make people comfortable to be able to tell their story. So we appreciate that, man. But what I got planned for this Sunday, you know, June 1st, you know, it's been a pretty chilly May leading into June, but
What I got planned, I plan on, we just going to walk at the park.
simple.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, one thing I think we have to do more often is take time to ourselves.
Facts.
Because we get so caught up in work that we'll believe that taking time to ourselves is slacking.
Yes.
And we do that all the time, where it's like we can go walk at the park, or you might play a video game for an hour. You be like, man, what I could have been doing in that hour. Like, no,
Yeah.
you also need the time off
Yeah.
because that's when you create your ideas as well.
That's what I told you. We talked about that too. I
Yeah.
was like, I felt guilty sometimes just being Jéan.
You got
But
to
I
be
need
it.
that.
Because there's times where I walk at the park and an idea will come
Yep.
just off of those things that we're doing in the process of relaxing or canoeing or anything like that. Because there was one time, this is a deep thought, but I'm sharing it. Say what you mean, right?
Say what you mean, man.
One time I was literally in my car and you know, driving, and I remember this leaf flying through, like it was like, you know, and it landed on my arm, a leaf, right? And I was just sitting there, like my window was like this.
And it managed to get in the car.
And I'm like, it landed on my arm, and I went into this deep thought. I was like, we gotta cherish life. That's how easy I could have been killed.
Facts.
Like that, you know, and that's I didn't mean to get so deep, but that is
Cause of death was a leaf. No.
yeah, it wasn't necessarily. It was just the access to something, the access that it has to me. But yeah, I didn't mean to go that way with it. I just was like,
No, you
I'm
good.
just saying
You
that.
saying what you mean,
I'm just
man.
saying that we have to take the time to ourselves.
100%.
Don't be so uptight. I've been like that a good amount of my life, where I was just so locked in, so focused, that you have to learn to take your foot off the gas in order to put yourself on the gas more efficiently.
True. I need that time to myself.
Yeah.
I gotta recharge that way. What about you? Like, what's your
I there are times where I'll just put my phone like away from me. And I'll just sit.
that screen time?
Just sit down quietly.
I gotta read a book, or like I said, be outside. Not just from work, but like just on my own time. I'm just being still. Like, I'm always on go, so that being still time is so necessary. I even find that doing this pod, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's my time where I just chill with the guests, see my friends, you know, and get a chance to do something I also love to do as well. So I like to put the relaxing into work just a little bit.
Definitely.
Just a little bit. So real quick before we get into it, we got to pay some bills. First sponsor, you know, the Hub Art Factory. Shout out to Tim Carmody.
Shout out.
What you think of the space, man?
I love the space. It's very creative. Like I think that if anybody is into art, or not even necessarily into art, this would be a good space for them to explore their ideas.
Yes.
Because you got blank space downstairs. You also got some good art. And it's very creative. So I think this would be a great space for somebody to.
And downstairs is empty right now, but it's not always like that.
It's never like that. Where it's like work studios, studios, always.
I think it's
something
dope.
going on.
I can see the vision.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Tim Carmody. Also, give a shout out to our other sponsor, George Financial Services. George Financial Services is a father and son team with 35 years of combined experience. They are dedicated to helping everyday people. They have $30 million in assets under advisements and are growing. If you'd like to talk with them, to learn more, search and Google George Financial Services in Canton and book a complimentary call. Our other sponsor is RTP Sports, the realest betting group in Ohio. If the game's on, we're betting. Welcome to RTP Sports, #1 sports betting group chat in Ohio, where real players link up, drop heat, and run up the bag together. This ain't no guessing game. We do our homework, we strategize, and we take this betting thing seriously. If you're trying to bet smart and win big, you're in the right place. So shout out to RTP Sports. I wonder who lost some money yesterday trying to bet on the Knicks. I was rooting for him a little bit.
I mean, I don't start really betting until we get to football season. That's where I make my.
That's where you waiting. Yeah. Cyrus, you don't gamble. Nah, Cyrus ain't. Nah, I don't either, man. I was shoulda last night though, man. You know, I wish I would.
At one point I gambled, but Nah, I try to get away from it because I won't get excited enough unless it's enough on the line.
100%, yeah. Yeah.
So
That's probably why he liked doing football season, because there could be some exciting things that could happen.
Like I said, I won $3,500 on a bet last year, so you know.
That's a great bet.
You still chasing that 3,500, chasing that feeling.
We'll get it back.
We'll get it back.
Get it back.
That's what's up, man. So shout out to our sponsors for the Say What You Mean podcast. Cyrus, man, let's start from the top. Where you from, man? Where you representing? Where were you born?
I'm from Massillon, Ohio.
I know. We know.
You know, so I know I'm in the Canton space.
I know.
I still feel free.
No,
you know what I mean?
The truth is, you know.
Yeah. I'm from Massillon, Ohio, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
There we go. Massillon's a sports city, man. I'll give y'all that, man. Y'all sports,
we're a
man.
football city.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What was it like growing up for you in Massillon, man?
I think it's pretty much the same as it would be for anybody. I had a lot of good friends, a lot of great friends. Us just trying to find out who we are, you know, from doing nature-related stuff, riding the bike, seeing who could pop a wheelie the longest down the street.
Yeah.
To finding you know what? The berry bushes don't exist no more, because I remember us stopping, getting blackberries and picking those getting into some trouble as well, throwing rocks and, you know, just a lot. I think pretty much anybody's childhood to some degree, playing our video games, going on missions to see what girls we can hook up with.
Yeah.
You know,
missions. Missions.
It's crazy how far you will ride your bike for a kiss.
Man, missions. What those were the days.
Oh man, especially like, you know, when you got a girl and then she got her friend and we only riding bikes or going to the movies. We was innocent then. Before it all turned over, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. You growing up in Massillon, obviously Massillon being a sports city. What was it like being a citizen? Did you play sports yourself? Like, I know it's a whole different culture in Massillon as far as sports. What was that like, experiencing that as well?
I mean, I played basketball, so as you know about Massillon, football is what they truly care about. Mm-hmm. I played basketball my whole life, but I say I had all the opportunities to do well within it. We had the rec center, we had the Boys and Girls Club, we had all these areas of where I grew up, and I had access to doing anything that I wanted to do with it. So, I mean, it was fun. Yeah, I had great friends. It was fun all the way around the board, just playing basketball. That was always my first love.
That's what's up, man. Who were your favorite hoopers growing up?
It was always my family, like my brother. His name is Michael Massey, my uncle Lonnie. It was always people that I knew. I loved the NBA players as well, but I always was down to earth. Like, they're not at my they're not at my birthday party.
The local, the hometown heroes.
Like I was always like, they're not at my birthday party. But ultimately, I love the NBA players, but I favored more the people I actually knew.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this, man. I was reading the bio. You started mentoring others while you were still a child. At what point did you realize you needed guidance yourself?
I always had it. So this is one thing oh my God, I'm glad you asked that question. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the community that surrounded me.
Yeah.
Like, cause I had people around me that always protected me, and I didn't realize it until I got older, because I was in, we can call a drug house. And I remember going in there and all the dealers would actually put the weed out because I was walking in. It's like they seen something in me that they didn't see in themselves. So I had protection from people that was selling drugs, never allowed me to sell drugs. They're like, you're not doing it.
Same, bro.
You know, period.
Yeah.
So
you ain't doing that.
The people that was fighters always was in the backyard teaching me how to fight and defending anything to ensure that I was safe. The people that was, the killers didn't allow me to get in the streets. The drug dealers didn't allow me to sell any drugs. And they were aware when anything was about to pop off to remove how to get me up out of there. But then on the business side, I also had like Mark Bigsby and Ramir Martin. And
shout out Mark Biggs.
Yeah, all these people that I got with him when I was young. And I learned about photography, learned about studio, learned about recording. Then Ramir taught me about one-sheeters and business. And the list goes on and on. I had a whole community. Then I could talk about my mother and my father and my uncles and my cousins. So, I always had guidance. Plus, I was always intuitive. I asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I was always, why is this and why is that? And nobody ever tried to shut me down. They would actually answer the question. So I was one of those lucky people that when they say a village raised a child, I was that child that got raised by my village.
That led me into my next question. Was there a specific moment or person that made you believe you were meant for something greater?
It was something, my father always taught me a lot. I wouldn't say it was a specific moment. I was just ingrained with a bad attitude. And one thing a poor attitude does is it make you very decisive. Because when you get so hot, you don't care about nothing.
Not at all.
Like you so laser focused. And my bad attitude came from feeling like nobody loved me. So I'm like, if nobody loved me, then, ironically, I realized later the village raised me. But at that time, I felt like nobody cared about me. So if nobody cared about me, and I started not caring about myself, which made me have a bad attitude. And in making me have a bad attitude, it intensified my focus on things. And it made, I guess I was okay with a lot of stuff. When you become okay with dying over the smallest stuff because you said something about my mom and I wanted to take it that far, it came a point where it all turned over when I was in 9th grade and I started realizing that you can say something to me and my day is messed up while your day is okay. That didn't make any sense to me.
Like, nah.
Like I couldn't rationalize that. Therefore, I had to fix my attitude. And once that started happening, everything changed in my life. But I still had the roots of not caring or the roots of confidence.
So, like, the Greatness Cafe and Grow Mental Health and Wellness, like, those are, like, 2 dope ventures. Like, those are great ventures. What inspired their creation and what makes them different from, like, traditional spaces?
Well, the Greatness Cafe, that is closed now, but what the difference was is you can walk in and you can order something from an affirmation. The smoothie is called I Am Great. It's called I Am Strong. I Am Smart. And everything was made from scratch. I didn't put no ice in none of my stuff, no syrup, everything was in the purest form. We squeezed the oranges that day, the orange juice that morning. So that was what that was about, giving the highest amount of nutrition in the most positive atmosphere. And Grow Mental Health and Wellness carries on that to some degree, but it's about the setting. Like we colored, and once again, we studied color theory with an artist. His name is Bruce Budd, and a great artist, by the way. We also looked at what fabrics go where. What is the scent? Like just absolutely everything. And when you go into a mental health facility, and generally speaking, because I don't want to sound like I'm shooting any shots at anybody's facilities, they won't know the difference between 3,000 watt lights and 5,000. I mean,
you paid attention to detail.
3,000, 3,000 K or 5,000 K, because one of them make you feel warm, one of them feels cold. If you don't know that, you won't know why someone is not opening up.
Yeah.
You won't know the grade of color is actually within a family. You won't know these things. So all of that went into the wellness center, and that's what differentiates it from any other place thus far, is the attention to detail and how people feel. Like you said, how you felt when you walked in.
Yeah. Why
we chose certain colors of wood. Why this thing is on the TV. Why does it sound like this in here? All those things is hyper detailed. And on top of that, you can get life coaching to help you with burnout, to help you with work-life balance, to help you with anxiety, etc. So, and plus the chair.
Chair's fire. Zach, do you have a question?
So one thing I kind of saw in your bio that I found kind of interesting was Maslin gave you a holiday?
Yeah.
Mental health work? Can you kind of tell us about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flex on him a little bit,
Yeah. Say what you mean, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, I was... The reason why I don't talk about it as much is because I got that holiday for riding a bicycle from L.A. to Ohio. It's a 40-day. But during that journey...
Oh, you rode your bike from L.A. to Ohio?
Yeah. But during that journey, I mean, we got all the clips and stuff like that. But as soon as I got here, my brother died. You know what I mean? So all the pictures got my family crying. All of it is just... I'm sure in the future we'll release it in a documentary or something, but it didn't, it didn't kind of like hit the way we intended. And I start to believe in hindsight that I did it for selfish reasons. Initially it was to bring awareness to what's going on in the school system. But as I was getting in, I realized, and when I got here, I can say my ego was inflated and some arrogance kicked in, where it was like I was seeking that praise, and I lost sight of what I was doing it for. So it was like a mixture of all these things mixed with my brother passing and all that. So I am grateful. I want to be clear. I'm grateful for having my own holiday on in November, but also everything that hits at the same time, mixed with ego, mixed with my brother, mixed with all this stuff. You know, it's hard to say, but my family do come together and we do celebrate it, and I'm very thankful. I want to be clear, but I gotta also be honest about the humility side of what came from it, how I felt, etc.
So you've written 3 books and 2 workbooks. What's your writing process like?
My writing process is I always take notes in my Apple Notes. I take notes about.
It's a lifesaver, ain't it?
Yeah, and I talk to it often, but I always take notes on real life situations that I believe can help others, and then I combine them together. Like I got notes on an upcoming book, and I get this to y'all. Y'all can have it for free. If somebody else do it, good for them. You know, so I got
some greatness.
I got book thoughts. So one of them is about accountability, which is huge. The rhythm of mediocrity. So I wrote that down on how people develop a rhythm of just trying hard enough to just get by. And it becomes that their natural thing. I got another one. People will act funny around people they talk badly about you. So basically, you know how you be around
Make
somebody.
That a chapter in the accountability book.
You know, they want behavior to match what they've said about. So, you know, like I can say something bad about you, but you didn't know I said anything bad about you, right? And then you come around and you think, how can I say this better? I think that y'all know. So I start acting different. I messed it up, but forget it.
You got that many ideas.
Forget it. Yeah, you get the point. What I'm saying is, I always write down all these different ideas, jot down all these different thoughts, and I pull them all together to collectively make a book in the end. So that's why I messed up right there. It was a thought. Look, that's how honest I am with y'all. I'm telling y'all thoughts that's undeveloped.
You say what you mean, man.
You'll bring it all together.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Watch in time when this come out. I'm gonna attach this clip of me messing up to the book.
Accountability.
Yeah.
We might make mistakes, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. This is a funny question. Let's say they're making a movie about your life. Who's playing you? And what song is playing during the credits?
My little brother Kadez will play me. Okay. For sure. Because he was there. I don't know who would play him in the story, but he would play me. And, man, I love a lot of songs. But if I say what was playing in the credits, everybody loved The Sunshine, Roy Ayers.
Oh.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because, I mean, I can listen to that song anytime.
Because I don't know if you remember my homie Arthur or Trey. He told me he used to spit too.
Yeah, I used to rap.
You rapping now or you ain't rapping in a minute?
I ain't rapped in a minute, but I always I do this. I just said this on stage. My mom never knew her dad, and my dad didn't know his dad. My older brother just found his dad, but I really got to know my dad. I see the differences that we have. It's like looking at the world from different perspectives. Life lessons kept us stressing. Who would have thought one womb with different sperm would create some blessings? Different path, but the same objective. Trying to plan ahead for a better life while living in the present. Ignoring every aspect of guessing. At least I try. I jumped off the ledge to see if I can fly, because I learned that this thing we call life is bigger than I. So yeah, there you go.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man.
So I
keep a little bit, but no, that's what I just said at the poetry night.
We gotta talk more. That poetry night sound interesting. You said it was House 330?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotta check that out.
They can have that drop on your podcast.
Whoa.
They can have, you just gave it to them for free.
Shout out to House 330 if y'all watching, you know. Come on. So let me ask you this question. With everything you've done so far, what are you most proud of on a personal and a quiet level?
Unifying my family. Like, I've achieved, I'll be honest, I wrote a lot of stuff on my checklist. And I started checking all those boxes. I got to a point where I traveled a lot. I had a lot of money. I've had a lot of material. I've had Rolex, I had chains, I've had a lot of those things that you desire. And then I started looking at what actually matters. And I realized what actually matters for me. And then I also understood that a lot of people get to this point later on in life is it's who you're doing what with.
Man.
Start to be the main thing that matters. Who you're doing what with. The people you enjoy, me and you can sit there and chop it up in the wellness center. And we can chop it up for hours, the same way we on this podcast. It wouldn't matter if we here or if we in San Tropez. We still gonna have the same, but the setting can produce a better experience. So I love the fact of unifying family, bringing family together, talking about some of the issues we've been through and how we can overcome it. I mean, I'm doing sessions with family members at the wellness center.
That's dope.
So same thing with the cafe. I had my mom drinking green juice for the first time. She ain't, they don't want to touch nothing green. They'll drink, which kind of killed me because they'll drink brown.
Right.
But they will not drink green. So unifying family, bringing people together, that always means a lot to me because everything else in the material form I've already accomplished. I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't drive me as much anymore because I know what it takes to get it.
Right.
So if you and I decide, okay, today we want to make $100,000, I'm like, we can do that. It's just, are you willing to give up what it takes to get it? And are you willing to have the sacrifices that come with it?
That part.
That is the part that a lot of people do not understand. I can't emphasize that enough. They have the desires and the goals, which I love and respect, but the sacrificial things that come with that thing, you ask yourself, is it worth it? Because you can make $1 million, but are you willing to give your family up for it?
Fact.
And maybe you are. Like, I don't knock that. But, for LeBron to be LeBron, as great as he is, and we love LeBron, but he wasn't able to be in his kid's life the way he wanted to.
Yeah,
and this is something he said.
Facts.
So what trade-off are you willing to make to get these things that you want? And whichever works for you is fine. I'm just saying for me at this point in my life, it's family, unifying, building things on a strong foundation, living however I want to live, doing whatever I want to do.
Okay. One last question for you. Zach, did you have a question you want to ask? Okay. One last question. What's next for Cyrus Ausar? What chapter are you writing now? We'll redeem yourself because you messed up on them. I'm just playing.
At this point, I always pray, and I'm at the point in my life where I don't know how to say it. This is the best way I can say it. You know how a sun hit a flower and it opens up? That's me. It's the best way of saying it. I have a lot of plans and whatnot, but for the most part, I try and see what's coming and adapt because a lot of strong plans and I can tell you business plans, but you asked me a question and I'm just getting profound on it because I have business ideas and et cetera. But on a real note, it's just I don't know, letting things be. Because I can get hard strung. Like, I get fixated hard. If I have a desire to do, I get fixated, like, hard. Like this is going to happen to a point that everything else won't matter. So I try to figure out my balance with it. And, that's my best way of answering it.
It's the next chapter.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So
chapter writes itself.
Yeah. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a break and do a section called Peace Positive Point where you say a quote, I say a quote that means something to us. Zach, you don't got no Dr. Seuss quote?
Yeah.
He usually has one every episode, but he ain't having it.
I did like 100 episodes straight with the Dr. Seuss quote, and I've kind of run dry, I'll be honest.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. So we're going to do that, come back, and stick around with us, man. All right?
Here.
Episode 178, Say What You Mean podcast. Cyrus Ausar, Jéan P. the MC. Peace. Episode 178 of the Say What You Mean podcast. Jéan P. the MC, Michael Zach, Cyrus Ausar. Gotta dap you up, man. That with my guest. Thank you for being on the show, man.
I'm glad to be here.
Dope episode, man. You predicted it, man. This is a great episode, especially tapping in with mental health, man. I love the awareness. I love the fact that it's becoming something that men are accepting and realizing is a part of their lives. Could lift all the weights in the world, do all the sports, but this is the one we gotta take care of, and our hearts too, man. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and just sharing part of your story and just the importance of the mind, man. I think people sleep on that as a muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's so important with the output of information and things we're constantly seeing every day. We got to take care of our minds.
Yeah, that's why I try to help. They say the first 90 minutes when you wake up is the most important for your day.
It is.
And a lot of times, and this is a habit I even had, I'm guilty of it. So I want to make the general public understand that I don't think I'm higher than, is we cannot go to social media first thing when you wake up. You cannot. You can't. No, it's a drainer. And like I said, I'm not acting like I'm above it, because I still do it here and there, but I don't want to practice things that don't work well long term.
Facts.
You know, and what will happen over time is it actually pulls energy from you, and you won't know why you're tired all the time.
I had to realize that, man, because I was like, I don't want that to be the first thing I see when I get up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and then we're guilty of it. Pick up, scroll it. But then, like, lately, I've been, crazy you say that, I've been catching myself. So, like, when I reach, I'm like, oh, hold on. And make sure Jéan is okay first. I mean, get my stretches in. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but a lot of it's so negative, too. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Social media is so negative.
Because you're seeing what was from the night before. If you wake up in the morning, you're seeing what was happening last night. You waking up, you seeing someone got exposed. Somebody got into a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, man, it's just...
Yeah, entertainment is always about destroying the person on top to bring the underdog up.
Man.
And then you recycle it. So whatever that may look like, it is the best form of entertainment. That's why it's always you look on the news now, it's 4 bad stories for every one good. Mm-hmm. And that just stays on rotation.
You rarely see the good stories.
Yeah, you won't see it. Mm. People don't.
That's not what
that's not as entertaining. Mm-hmm. You need something to feed that. Did you know? So like,
yeah.
You know how many people will call you when someone dies? Did you know someone so?
But won't call you when they're good.
Yeah, won't call you about the graduation.
Yeah.
But it'll call you when somebody passed, or they will call. People love to call on gossip.
Yep.
But they will not call to see how you doing.
It don't sit right with me as a person. Like, I can't, like, yeah, you with your homies, you might gossip, talk about some things, but like, I can't have a whole conversation. Like,
yeah, I can't sit in that conversation. Matter of fact, this is for all the viewers as well. Analyze the last 10 calls you've got, right? You, Zach, everybody that's gonna watch. Analyze the last 10 conversations you've done that they called you, and analyze what they called you about. Did they call you to see how you were doing, or were they calling you to dump some information on what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this person and this person. And usually it's what happened with this person and this person. And ask yourself what happys to your energy upon receiving that from them.
Watch everybody watching and start monitoring their conversation.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Because I'm always relatable on the aspect. I'm not acting like I'm above this, because it happens with me as well. I'm just privy to it too. So once I start fielding some information and it start being, they got about a 5-minute clock on this.
That's it.
Because I'm not about to keep listening to this. It's not going to go nowhere.
You had a cookout or family function, I'm about to get up and go ahead and walk over.
Yeah, I'm about to go ahead. As soon as you start hearing it.
I'm out.
Or hypothetical conversations based on man, if we was back in high school, I'm like, bro, I don't want to.
It's like 20 years ago.
Family. Yeah,
like,
if it really boiled down to it, who the best basketball player between you and the 9th grade and so in the 9th grade, and then if you even say it in passing, I think they're better. Man, you tripping. You real. So there's no way for me to.
That already happened,
I can't build with this.
Right.
I'm okay with.
Our kids,
the past it's over.
Our kids are high school now, bro. They going to high school.
I think that drives me crazier than anything is when people bring up stuff that happened in high school and they still hold high school grudges. I'm like, we are coming up on 30.
Welcome to 30. Welcome to Northeast Ohio, especially with sports. They gonna talk about something that happened years ago.
What are we doing?
Like, just let it go. It's over. I mean, people will still brag about what girl they were with in high school. I'm like, bro, you are 40.
You got
that was when you was 15, bro.
I had the bad. It's like,
I'm
bro,
like,
that's
oh
cool.
my
That's
God.
great. You still stuck on that?
But like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm knocking nobody. I laugh because it's funny.
All the athletes who they had on this podcast gonna be like, "What are you trying to say?"
What I'm trying to say is let the past go.
Let it go. If you ain't doing that now,
just let it go. It's okay. Just keep building to become a better person.
Respect. I like that, man. Grow.
No, I'm just trash talking.
Grow.
Trash talking.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
But
allowed. It's fine.
yeah, man. Say what you mean, man. We've been doing this whole episode, brother. But like I said, we do all that and ended on a positive note. So y'all know what it is, man. Peace, positive point. My guests tell me a quote that means something to them to get them through the week. Michael and Zach, you want to start this off?
Yes, I don't really have a quote, but I just kind of want to hammer home the point that, men, women, young, old, doesn't matter. We need to quit being ashamed to reach out.
Man.
There's absolutely no shame in reaching out, asking for help. Even if you don't want to go super deep, start at the surface level. We need to stop being afraid as a society to feel weak or feel vulnerable.
I like that.
Because there's
like
no shame at all.
Respect, man. I like that, Zach.
Yeah.
Cyrus, you got something for us?
Yeah, I got two that run hand in hand.
You got a whole episode.
I got a whole facility.
We're gonna call this episode Cyrus's positive points.
But these ones go hand in hand. So, because I don't want to give, let me just say it. It's one that always stuck out with me. It said, a patient man will eat ripe fruit. That one always stuck with me. A patient man will eat ripe fruit. And my mantra is sometimes you got to slow down to move faster. I tell myself that all the time. Sometimes you have to slow down to move faster because you can put so much on your plate or believe that you have so much things going on when in actuality, if you slow it down, you will actually achieve more. If you plan your things out a little better, you would actually achieve more. It's just like if you cleaning up your house. If you in a rush to just clean your house, you may sweep your floors before you wipe the tables.
Fact.
That's out of order. You know what I mean? So now you sweep your floor. Now you sweep the floors, wipe your tables. Now you got to sweep the floor again. That's the same thing that happens in life. We get to moving so fast and unplanned that you'll end up doubling and tripling your work. So I always tell myself, Cyrus, sometimes you have to slow down to move faster.
It's a dope bar, man. Dope positive point. I like that. My quote is from Carl Jung. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but it's who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. We've been talking a lot about like dreams in society, and like I feel like people who look outside, they kind of see what's out here. Illusions, they see that, like we talked about aesthetic off the record, they look outside, and that's okay, but I think looking inside is where it really starts. You know what I'm saying? Like doing that internal work, because we can look outside, like somebody can look happy, you know what I'm saying? But on the inside is where it really matters. That's why that quote really stuck out to me, like who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Because like it starts with yourself. Like I had this thing where I say the hardest conversation we can have is with ourselves.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you can't run from no accountability.
You can't run from it. You know what I'm saying? You look outside, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks great. Oh, but it starts in here.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I think about that all the time. Like, it starts with yourself. That's why that quote from Carl Jung stuck out to me. That's why that's my positive point, is who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes.
I like that, because with that accountability aspect, it's like you are where you are because of you.
Yes.
No matter how many people you want to blame, no matter how many times your mother didn't show up to your football or basketball game, no matter who did what, you are where you are because of you.
Yes.
If you are broke, it's because of your ideas of finances. If you are successful, it's your ideas of finances. If we look at it from a financial space, if you are having this podcast because y'all made the decision to do it. Just absolutely everything is based upon what y'all want to do in life and making that decision to do so. It's just when you are not where you would like to be and you don't want to accept the accountability, you need somebody to blame or someone to save you. And if no one is saving you or no one there is you can blame, that's where it becomes some real issues internally.
I like that, man. Whole episode full of positive points, man. I dig this. Thank y'all so much, man. Any shout outs, Zach, before we get out of here?
Same as always. Shout out the Hub. Shout out Canton. Shout out friends and family. Go Browns.
Go Browns. Cyrus, you got any shout outs, man?
Oh, man, yeah. I want to shout out, I can take it from the top. My brother, Kadez, he has Prevail clothing line. My nephew, Jordan, he has his J-Stock painting. I want to shout out the boxing that Marquise, he just did with us, United Boxing. I want to shout out
Marquise.
Grizz. Grizz my business partner, do a little bit of everything. Want to shout out Bruce Bud for doing the art stuff. I want to shout out my mother for raising me properly, the best of her ability. My father for raising the best of his ability. I want to shout out my sister. She does her cookie business. She's doing really well with that. My brother, Michael, he's the reason why I started writing music. My brother Marlon, I told you, I mean, you told me.
Everybody getting their flowers
Everybody
today.
gonna get it. My brother Marlon, he's always been a calm, relaxed person that taught me a lot. My father, I even say my stepmother. The list will never stop. And I still want to keep going, but let me start curving it off because the viewership, I don't want you dropping it. I want to thank and give a shout out to everyone, significant other over here.
Dog, congrats. Yeah.
I don't like putting on my personal business. I don't like that, but she knows and I know. But yeah, the list goes on and on. I'm gonna stop it there on purpose, but I can keep going for another 100 years.
You got 100 years of shots.
Yeah, man, all the people, Ramir, Mark, Kenny. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Chad, matter of fact, I want to shout him out, Chad and Ari. I learned a lot from him, spirituality. My brother Cliff taught me about how to eat healthy. My brother John out in LA, we have good conversations. He's another that taught me how to eat healthy. We used to argue and debate about a lot of stuff. I mean, like I said, I can continue going forever.
That's what's up, man. Listen, I appreciate all the shout outs because, I mean, we got to give people the flowers while they can, you know what I'm saying, while they're here, not wait until something bad happens, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cyrus for being on the show. Thank you so much for letting me check out the facility. The massage is on point. Shout out to Michael, Zach, Chase, Dakota, Alicia for being here. Thank you so much for coming and watching, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Alan, Def Syrup in the house. He came and checked me out. He's going to play me some music. He actually did something dope. He had a show, and I had the luxury of hearing a chopped and screwed set sound of my songs. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother, man, for doing that. I'm going to get to check that out. Everyone watching the show, too. 178th episode, man.
Man, I want to give you a shout out. I want to give y'all a shout out for 178. That's very consistent. That's an amazing thing. And the general public may not know, so I'm going to tell y'all the amount of work that they had to put into creating that many experiences for y'all to receive. And for the sponsors, I highly suggest that y'all sponsor this as much as y'all possibly can, because these are some great people reaching out to the community, doing a lot of great work beyond what they're willing to even say on camera. I mean, there's things that we talk about off camera about them just being vehicles for other people to call them just because they're going through something. That's not on the podcast, and they're not going to say it on the podcast, so I'm going to say it for them. You know, to be that those advocates for those conversations that people are taking to their pillow, you willing to have with them. 100%. And he just opened the door up to say that I can call him for anything, and I'm sure that's the same conversation you have with everybody else. So if you are a sponsor or you even considering it, I think y'all should have that conversation with them, sponsor something, whatever that may look like, whether it's tickets to a game. I don't know how y'all sponsorship work, but I want to be involved, and yeah, just go from there. Matter of fact, who is your favorite artist?
Mine?
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Big Sean. No.
It's one of them. I like Big Sean.
All right. Well, the first person that will comment your favorite artist in the comment get a free massage at the Wellness Center.
Y'all hear that, right?
So I know when this go out and somebody make it to the end of the episode, they write that down. You send me the information. They get a free massage at the Wellness Center.
So if y'all watching and want to get a free massage, make sure y'all comment y'all favorite artist, man. Thank you so much, man, for the love and the support. We appreciate you, man. And don't forget, leave that comment, get that free massage. Say the address of the facility again, or how they can reach out.
Goingtogrow.com, like goingtogrow.com. and that's where you can book your massage or your one-on-one session. CyrusAusar.com, and that's CYRUSAUSAR.com. That's how you can reach me personally. Same thing on social media. You can always reach me personally. My door is always open.
All right, man. Episode 178. Think that wraps it up, man. We out of here. Jean Peter, MC, Cyrus Ausar, Michael Zach. Say what you mean. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Say what you mean what you say. I'm from the 330.